Greetings from Oblivious Alsk. I give a warm welcome back to all the viewers of Science or Not, your weekly science-related entertainment. So far, there's probably not many viewers I can give this warm welcome to. Tell your friends and I might have more.
It's funny because I'm advertising.
I've decided to change a few things up about Science or Not. My videos were turning out to be about 10 minutes long. And you're YouTubers, you need a quick fix. Why is it in every video I get some sort of unintended sexual innuendo? But what I mean is, instead of having 10-minute long videos, we're going to change them up a little bit, and now my videos will probably only cover one new news story and one old science fact. But you YouTubers will probably greet that with open arms, because rather than 3 stories about me talking and rambling for 10 minutes long, it'll be easier just to watch a 5-minute video. And it'll be easier for me, because I only have to edit half as much stuff. So instead of me having to film and edit for 6 hours, probably just take 3. But enough rambling about me and my troubles editing these videos. Let's go on to an actual science subject, now that I've wasted a minute of your time. If you've been watching the news this week, you may have seen a news story that was potential big news. Big in the sense of...
the world is ending!
Probably, almost certainly not, kind of, maybe, probably not.
The world is ending!
No, not even when you say it like that. A couple weeks ago, some Russian scientists, astronomers specifically, announced that a huge asteroid, known as 99942 Apophis, or as simply put as everyone has been referring to it, Apophis, and no, not the Egyptian god, although it is quite fitting because the Egyptian god Apophis, also known as Apep, was the evil god of darkness and chaos, so I guess it fits. This Egyptian god asteroid
Kinda looks like a potato, doesn't it?
is actually as big as 2 football fields. And presumably, they said, it may hit the Earth on April 13th, 2036. Probably, almost certainly not. This set the web abuzz because anytime there's any talk about the world ending, the internet is going to explode with interest. And then from there, the information is spread around the interwebs like gossip at a sorority house. However, after some investigation into this, and a lot of number crunching by NASA later, the chance of this happening is next to 0. 1 in 250,000 chance. They say that in 2029, the asteroid will come close to Earth, specifically 2.5 times the Earth's width away. And when it passes by in 2029, there is what's known as a gravitational keyhole that it could pass through. This keyhole, however, is so small compared to the space that the asteroid could be going through, and it's just barely bigger than the asteroid itself, that we probably need not worry about it anyway. But if it did pass through the keyhole, it would be grabbed by the Earth's gravity, swing around, and perhaps come back and smack us in the face at 2036. However, if it does manage to get through this little tiny bit of space, we're humans, we know how to blow stuff up. Okay, so maybe not blow stuff up, but at least attach rockets to it so we can kind of divert its trajectory. So with the combination of the unlikeliness that this asteroid will go through this tiny keyhole in space, and NASA's presumed ability to change the trajectory of something 2 football fields in size, with the chance of being 1 in 250,000, in other words, 0.0004% chance of this thing hitting the Earth, I think there's more chance of me becoming Batman than there is that.
Remember Batman with the beard? I'm back.
Hey, wouldn't it be kind of cool to do funny stuff with my voice with a Batman mask?
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman!
Okay, enough of that. I'm done. But about the next thing I want to talk about. Another thing that we're going to change up in this show is, rather than having a fun little mini-fact, I'm just going to talk about some science fact discovered any time in history. Today I'm going to talk to you about a very special historical woman named Henrietta Lacks. Born in 1920, died in 1951. The special thing about Henrietta Lacks is that her cells are immortal. Not in the same way immortal as the water bear was that we talked about a few weeks ago. They won't be able to survive some sort of nuclear blast, and they can't survive in a vacuum, obviously. But more that if you leave some of these cells alone, they will keep dividing. They'll keep reproducing, as long as they have a food source. Normal cells wouldn't do this. They have some sort of program latched onto the end of a protein that tells them they should only duplicate a certain amount of times. Hers doesn't have these. The use of these cells in the medical world has been enormous. Think about it. If you have cells that duplicate infinite amount of times and don't die off, you can sell them to people who want to do research on human cells. Since I think it's illegal to have human beta testers for some sort of drug in the early stages of its development, the easy way to test them is simply on these cells. There's a limitless supply of them, and they are human cells, which means you can adequately judge what would happen in other situations with whatever sort of medicine you're using. The corporation that now holds these cells has made billions. Speaking about both the cells and dollars. The sad part about this story, though, is that her family got absolutely nothing for the acquisition of her cells. Reason being, this was 1940s, 1950s. She was African American. So in light of the always annoying racism, I congratulate you, Henrietta Lacks. Good job with your crazy immortal cells. Great big thank you for all the medical improvements it's led to over the years. Alright, that is not all the stories I found that I thought were pretty cool when it came to science. But again, I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter, and we're already pushing, I think, 7 minutes, is it? The links to the stories that I talked about today are in the drop-down bar below. Like it if you like it, subscribe it if you love it. And for next week, what would you like me to talk about for next week's science fact? Atlantis? Uranium? Or something else entirely? I know Atlantis isn't quite science, but it's cool anyway. So just let me know what you think I should talk about, or what you thought of either of these stories in a comment or a video response. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Actually, you'd be seeing me, I wouldn't be seeing you. Stalkers!
What are you looking at?